It's Sunday and it's time to do a brew. First brew in Midland. So anyways, these are my ingredients I'm going to use today. And yeah, so I'm going to do this old ale. I'm going to use this old ale recipe I put together from that beer brewing book that I got. And let's see if I have my weight in here. Yeah, we got 10 pounds of 2-row. And then we have 4 pounds of dark Munich. And then we have 0.66 pounds of Crystal 150. And then we have 0.22 pounds of our chocolate. And for the hops, we're going to use Kent Golding hops for this recipe. It's going to be 2.75 ounces of Kent Golding in the boil, and then at the 10 minutes prior to flame out, we're going to do 2.75 more ounces for flavor and aroma. So anyways, we're going to get this going here in a second. All right. Surprise, surprise. Say hi to YouTube. She just woke up. I gotta feed her first before we can mash in. Priorities change, you know, especially when you're a parent. But anyways, I'm going to show you this right quick. She wants to play with the camera. I'm going to show you. I am using a new Connect controller, and I actually have this thing heating up while we wait. It's at 129. It needs to be at 154. So, anyways, we're gonna get some food in this belly, and then we're gonna mash in some grains. So, be back when we mash in. Cheers. All right, guys. So, basically, I'm using the Grainfather Connect app on my iPad, and I've reached my strike temp. And all I gotta do is hit the start mash button after I get my grains mashed in. So let's go ahead and do a couple of things before we mash our grains in. First being, I need to treat the water. This water is pure RO water, which means that a lot of stuff was taken out of the water, and I need to put some stuff back in. So I've got some water salts here, just a package of them. I'm going to add them to this. It's good for 5 gallons, so I'm just going to go ahead and add some of these water salts into the water. This has got gypsum and calcium, papain and gypsum. Gypsum. It's got papain and gypsum. Okay. Alright, to help lock in my mash pH, it calls for 1 tablespoon per 5 gallons. I've got a little over 5 gallons in here. So I'm just gonna, this is a half tablespoon, so I'm gonna use 2 scoops. Alright. Now I'm going to give this a little stir. Just kind of mix it in real good. And the thing about the Grainfathers too is a filter at the bottom, so I try not to knock that off. Okay, cool. Now, I'm going to put my grain basket in that I've already set up from the night before. Got my grain blocker in place, so I don't have to worry about grain going down the center line there. Let's put my rake down in there. Now, I got these ingredients from Austin Homebrew Supply this time. Since I don't have a local home brew supply store around here, and these guys just happen to have everything I needed. I'm just gonna pour a fair amount in there right now. Grains, I forgot how good grains smell. I'm gonna stop at this point, mix it a little bit. Don't want any dough balls. Alright, we're pretty well mashed in, so I'm going to go ahead and put the top plate on. Just like so. Top plate usually slides down easier than the bottom plate when you're first getting going with this, but just wanted enough to where just enough where the liquid's coming through. Just like that. Boom. Spring blocker out. So I'm going to put in our overflow piece. Didn't have to push that down too far. Right there. Perfect. Now next, I need to put my lid on. Put my recirculating arm on. And just make sure this is good and snug here. Okay. So now all I gotta do is hit start mash, and it's gonna kick the pump on and everything. And I'm looking for any leaks, because you can kill the pump here if I needed to. But there we go. We're a little over on our temp right now, but this controller is awesome because it'll control the amount of wattage going to the element at the bottom. So it already has my timer in place. So once this timer's up, we'll be ramping up to a boil. Just take a look at it, see what we're doing here. We got pretty good flow going. Really good flow, actually. Make sure that's down in there all the way. Now, I'm not done yet. Saw a little trick. Another fellow YouTuber by the name of David Heath uses a stainless steel, and I do emphasize stainless steel strainer. And he simply puts it just over top of the overflow. That'll keep bits from going down the overflow, even if there is anything going down over it. But right now, it looks like everything is doing just fine going through the grain bed. So I'm going to leave this here and just let it recirc with the strainer over top. So I'll see you guys in an hour. Alright, while my mash is continuing to go, we still got about, where is 28 minutes left. Sorry, still getting used to my controller. 28 minutes left on the mash. Check this out, y'all. It's got a good color to it. It's got a nice dark reddish brown color going. Sorry. I keep forgetting it'll do that. But yeah, it's looking good. And I don't even really need this today because all the level is staying below, which means that it's flowing through the grain bed amazingly well. So let me put this back on. And over here, I've got my sparge water heating up in my sparge water urn. Got it about 75 here. I don't know, this dial isn't exact, but you know, for what I'm doing, it don't matter. I just want to get those sugars out. But yeah, got my sparge in there. Got a little deposit on the bottom, but no big deal. I can get that out with some brewer's wash later on. So I'm gonna go put this back on. Oops, trying to do all this one-handed. But yeah, sparge water going. Got my other camera there. But yeah, y'all, it is doing well. So we'll be back when it's time to sparge. All right, mash out is done. Pop off my arm. Take off the top here. And we're going to go ahead and lift this up slowly. It's a big grain bill, so alright, I'm going to let this drain out, and then after this drains out I'm going to sparge it with my sparge water. Alright, so I have just finished sparging. I'm letting the rest of this pretty much drain out really good, and then what I'll do is I will set it in my spare kettle that I got laying around here. Actually, it's over there right now. I'll put this in there and I'll continue to let it drip for a while we get this thing ramped up boiling. I've already set it to go ahead and I've already told it to go ahead and start the boil process, so it's like heating up right now. It's not actually going to get to 212. My boiling rate in my area is 207, so it will go ahead and keep the element ramped up as high as it can with the 212, but in the back end I've got it, I'll show you. I go to settings here. Here I can say custom temperature, and then I've got it set to 207 because it'll never make it up to 212 out here. It just won't. But anyways, so that's what we're doing right now, waiting for it to ramp up on the boil. So let's go back over here real quick. All sparged out. You can hear it still trickling a little bit down below. Can't really see in there, so I'm just trusting the Beersmith export to be accurate on the water measurements. But yeah, that's what we're up to. So we'll get back to this in a little bit. Alright guys, my first hop addition timer went off, so it's time to add them into the hop spider. Got a pretty decent boil going actually in this. I'm going to show you all this real quick because I figured actually I'm digging the boil here in Midland more than where I used to live, because you can see got a pretty good boil going. I'm a higher altitude here, so yeah, I'm digging that through the hops in. So we will come back when I do my 10-minute addition. Alright, so we have 11 minutes and 13 or 12, 11, 10, whatever, you know, left of this boil. And basically I've got my grandfather basket and everything washing in the dishwasher right now, so that's easy cleanup. And then all I gotta do is just hand wash this, you know, once it's done. And yeah, so here at the 10-minute mark we'll be adding our 2.75 ounces of Kent Goldings for the aroma and flavor. But yeah, just wanted to show y'all that we're almost there. And then we'll be chilling this pretty soon and putting it in my already sanitized catalyst fermenter. Everything's already sanitized and ready to go. I'm going to rehydrate this yeast while the while this is filling up. So let's go see where we're at. All right, it's going to buzz me here in a second or beep at me the controller will, and then this will as well. So let's go ahead and add our hops. And it actually keeps the timer going, so let's go ahead and do it. In they go. Ooh, a little steamy there. Alright, let's kill the alarm. Alright, 9 minutes. We'll be chilling it. And we'll get back when we fill the fermenter. Alright, so I took a gravity reading, and my Brix was 13.2, and I'll have to calculate that later and tell you what that is. I have a cheaper refractometer, but it does the job. And we are cooling her down. I've got the little window here open. I've got the carrying cover on, but we are filling this bad boy up. We're at 3.5 gallons. I'm hoping to get to the 5. I was pre-boil 6 gallons on this, so I figured a boil off rate of about half a gallon an hour on this, so I should have about 5.5 to about 5. So it should be right about in here. So anyways, I'll get back to you here shortly when I get the actual gravity. Okay, so I did the Brix conversion, and it's like 1.052. I was supposed to get 1.076. Talk about terrible efficiency. I'm not sure what went wrong. This is my first time using Austin Homebrew Supply. I'm not sure if it's the crush. It was sitting at a steady 154 the whole time during the mash. It could be the water. I'm not sure what it is. I used RO water this time, and added gypsum and that other crap to it. First time I ever really doing it. I never really used the gypsum much before. Maybe I'll leave that out next time. Maybe I won't even add anything to the water and just see what happens. But kind of disappointed with that gravity, but it'll still come out. It's more of a sessional style brew, you know, in the 5% range. But it's kind of disappointing when you don't hit your numbers. I actually crammed the catalyst in this cool brewing bag. It actually fit. So if it ever exploded or anything, at least it would stay inside the bag. But yeah, it is what it is, right? So anyways, till next time, we'll see how this thing turns out soon enough, right?